Do you sometimes wish you could legally change your name? Well, we've all been there, and celebrities are no different. Sometimes they take up stage names, but sometimes they change their name legally altogether. Aaron Paul is also now petitioning to change not only his, but his whole family's name legally. In today's video, we'll talk all about that and look at 10 more celebrities you never knew changed their names. First up, let's look at Aaron Paul's name change. Soon after the birth of his son, the American actor decided it was time to change his name, along with his wife. The pair are looking to legally change their last name only to Paul now. This way, they'll be changing the family name. But you must be thinking, isn't Aaron's last name already Paul? Well, his stage name, yes, but not his legal name. His full birth name is Aaron Paul Sturtevant. Aaron's wife, Lauren, is also on board with the idea and wants to change her last name too. According to Aaron, he changed his name on stage because his birth surname was just simply too hard to pronounce for most people. And we agree, the name Sturtevant just doesn't flow off the tongue the way Paul does. Same with his wife's name, Lauren Parsekian. Her last name is a little hard to pronounce. What do you think? Not only that, but they want to completely change their 7-month-old son's name from Casper Emerson Paul to Ryden Caspian Paul. Their child's name is already Paul, and with one small change, the parents would become the Pauls too, legally that is. The couple has already been using the children's new names on social media. They said they wanted to go through this name change to create a sort of uniformity that ties together the family by one name. TMZ confirmed the change through the documents they received. The couple confirmed the news with the birth of their recent child, when they agreed that the new name looked better on the paperwork. Now, let's look at 10 more celebrities who changed their names. At number 10, we have Gigi Hadid. The supermodel wasn't born with this name. Gigi's birth name was originally Yelena Noura Hadid. Yup, that's right. So if it wasn't for the name change, we'd have known her as Yelena Hadid today. Could you imagine? The 26-year-old told her fans the whole story behind the name she goes by now. In an interview with Vogue back in 2015, she revealed how Gigi was actually her mother's, Yolanda Hadid's, nickname and how it passed down to her. In the same interview, she told of another story behind the name. She told the interviewer about the time when she was in the 1st or 2nd grade with another girl named Yelena and how it would get confusing. So the teacher asked my mom if I needed to call Yelena a nickname, what would it be? To which her mother told the teacher how she sometimes calls her daughter Gigi, and that's how the infamous name stuck with her for life at an early age. Coming up at number 9, Bella Hadid. Just like her sister Gigi, the American supermodel's real name isn't actually Bella Hadid. The award-winning top model was named Isabella Caher Hadid at birth. The name later changed to what we know her today as. Bella is just short for Isabella, so she didn't really change her name. She just goes by her nickname now. Allegedly, she doesn't use her middle name because most people just mispronounce it. But overall, we don't think the change is really that big. But it sure did make it easier for people to remember the name, and that's what matters the most. Although we think about how good Bella is at what she does, she would have been talked about despite how difficult her name would have been. What do you say? At number 8, Iggy Azalea. Amethyst Amelia Kelly is what Iggy was called at birth and most of her childhood life. However, now, only a handful of people are allowed to call her by that name. In a tweet she made back in 2020, she said that the people who were allowed to call her by her birth name are elite. So how did she come up with her stage name? Well, her first name, Iggy, was actually the name of her first pet, and the second name, Azalea, is the name of the street in Australia where she grew up. A fan once asked the rapper if she'd name an album after her birth name, to which she said she would never, because she never wanted strangers calling her by her real name, since she believes names are something very personal. Gotta protect your vibe, she said, saying she wouldn't want people putting dirt in her name using her birth name. At number 7, we have Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston is one of the most popular celebrities on our list who changed her name, and most of us didn't even know about it. Well, technically, she herself didn't change her surname. It was her father who made the change. The much-loved American actress's last name was supposed to be Anastasakis, but when her Greek father changed his name from Anastasakis to Aniston, simply because the original surname was just too hard to pronounce for most people, the surname passed on to his daughter too, and honestly, it was a wise thing to do. You need to make your name easy to pronounce and remember in this industry. At number 6, Katy Perry. The queen of our teenage pop music didn't always go by this catchy name. Coming from a Christian household, her birth name was Catherine Elizabeth Hudson. Now, that's a beautiful name, don't get us wrong, and it would have worked perfectly, only if Katy was a character in an Emily Bronte novel. But as a pop star, the name needed to be changed. After she released her debut album, Katy Hudson, she realized the name needed to be changed when the album didn't get much success, and she didn't want to be confused with the actress Kate Hudson, so there's that. Katy adopted her mother's maiden name to avoid this confusion, and since the early 2000s has been known all around the world as Katy Perry. At number 5, we have John Legend. In an episode of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon back in March 2021, John explained to the people how his nickname and last name on stage legend caught on. He explained that it was just a nickname that his friends and the people he was working and collaborating with in the studio started calling him. The first guy to call me that was Jay Ivy, he added, telling us who actually started the name we all know so well. He also told his fans why Jay Ivy started calling him the name. Jay Ivy thought that John sounded like one of their old school soul legends, and before you know it, the name caught on and John started being known as John Legend. Number 4. Tina Fey. The actress, producer, playwright didn't exactly change her name entirely. She just uses a shortened version of her name, and to be honest, it's a good choice. Her real name? Well, she was named Elizabeth Stamatina Fey at birth and went by the same name most of her childhood, but decided to change her long name to a shorter one when she entered the industry. Fey also goes by another nickname, Betty, from her birth name, although only her close friend Amy Poehler uses the nickname to address her. She also went by the nickname borrowed from her birth name in the TV series 30 Rock, where her character was called Liz Lemon. Coming at number 3, Meghan Markle. The former member of the British royal family and Prince Harry's beloved wife wasn't actually born with the first name Meghan. Yep, that's right. Meghan is actually her middle name. Her full name is Rachel Meghan Markle. Meghan uses her middle name as her first name to be addressed, but hasn't really explained the reason behind the change. The American-British actress played a role in Suits, the American drama series, with her real first name as the character Rachel. At number 2, we have Audrey Hepburn, a Hollywood icon that everyone around the world is well aware of, if not by name, then by her iconic pictures from Breakfast at Tiffany's. But even those who recognize her by her stage name might not know what the actress was actually named. Etta Van Heemstrom Hepburn Rustin. That was her real name. Now you see why she changed her name when she came to Hollywood, but we do think that a lot of the Audrey Catherine confusion could have been avoided if Audrey had used her original last name Rustin instead of Hepburn. What do you think? Lastly, at number 1, we have Miley Cyrus. The pop sensation didn't always go by her catchy name that we know today. Although her name was very optimistic and honestly kind of cute, it didn't fit with her vibe, which is a problem when you market yourself in this industry. She was named Destiny Hope Cyrus at birth. What do you think about the name? Well, Miley thought it didn't really suit her, so she ended up legally changing her name to Miley in 2008. She got the name from her childhood nickname Smiley. Now, isn't that just adorable? That's all we have time for in today's video. Which of these celebrity name changes surprised you the most? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for more similar content in the future. With that, we'll see you in our next video.